Plato's dialogue Alcibiades is no longer treated with the importance that it once was, but perhaps it ought to be. At the revived Platonic Academy of the 5th century, this was the first of Plato's dialogues read by new students, and this is because it addresses the question of why we need philosophy. Alcibiades was an ambitious young man from a prominent family. He had the world at his feet, opportunity all but throwing itself at him. You are of the most gallant family in your city, the greatest in Greece. There you have, through your father, very many of the best people as your friends and kinsmen, who would assist you in case of need, and other connections also through your mother, who are not a whit inferior to these, nor fewer. And yet Socrates insisted that he alone could offer the kind of guidance that Alcibiades truly needed, a guidance very much off the beaten path of the many. Without me, it is impossible for all those designs of yours to be crowned with achievement. So great is the power I conceive myself to have over your affairs and over you. This claim was quite shocking to young Alcibiades, but it is probably not surprising to anyone watching a channel such as this one. We all know the power of Socrates' wisdom, the potency of his words, and the clarity of his thought. He enchants Alcibiades enough to elicit this question from the young man. Well then, what are the pains that I must take, Socrates? Can you enlighten me? For I must say that your words are remarkably like the truth. Socrates' reply comes only after a bit more discussion. To preface his reply, Socrates asks, well, and is it an easy thing to know oneself? And was it a mere scamp who inscribed these words on the temple at Delphi? Or is it a hard thing and not a task for anybody? And then he goes on, but Alcibiades, whether it is easy or not, here is the fact for us all the same. If we have that knowledge, we are like to know what pains to take over ourselves. But if we have it not, we never can. It is easy to get caught up in the complexities of life. Should we embark on a career path? Do we want children? The decisions we make at each crossroads will affect our whole lives. When I found myself at such crossroads, a friend recognized that I did not know myself. And he told me, that was the bigger problem. The better you know yourself, the more likely you will feel which decisions are right for you and which are not. And so the Delphic oracle's challenge to know thyself is of key importance. But what does it mean to know thyself? On one level, it is a matter of weeding out family and social expectations that block us from recognizing what would truly make us happy. Socrates takes it farther, though, to a metaphysical level. He asks Alcibiades, come then, in what way can the same in itself be discovered? For thus we may discover what we are ourselves. Whereas if we remain in ignorance of it, we must surely fail. The phrase that is translated here as same in itself is the Greek auto tauto. Another way to translate auto would be self. Therefore, what Socrates is challenging Alcibiades to discover is the self itself, or as we often say, the self in itself. In metaphysics, when we talk of things in themselves, We are referring to what are generally known in English as forms or ideas. These are the paradigms of all that is. Things in our physical world are in constant flux. The young grow old. What comes into existence eventually passes out. Yet the ideas never change. They are eternal and steady, radiating their reality outside of time. It is to this realm that we must penetrate on our quest to truly know the self. This is a knowing that goes beyond the comprehension of this explanation. It is theurgic. It penetrates to the core of our being. It is a vibration, a frequency that we reach in a metaphysical jump outside of time and outside of the dichotomy of subject and object. We can understand the self as an object outside of us or a concept to contemplate, but we can only know the self by becoming the self. Or more accurately, we only know the self through the recognition that we are the self and have always been the self. And so Socrates' question, is it an easy thing to know oneself, is a challenge for Alcibiades to take on philosophy in earnest. This is not about the occasional dive into the rivers of complex thought. This is about truly transforming the soul and the very way we understand what we are and the whole of which we are a part. This is a transformative journey, one that Alcibiades ultimately did not have the courage to traverse. But how about you? Let's have a discussion about the quest to know the self. What have your experiences been like? Has philosophy changed the way you relate to the world? Or what struggles does it pose? And what are the benefits that you've enjoyed? I'd love to see your stories in the comment section. And I thank you for watching. Till next time.